Hi, good morning, friends. It's 25 of October 2020. I'm doing this video because I can't figure out anything better to do, and I somehow believe that's the same reason for you to be watching this. As we are aware, it's the second phase of COVID-19 lockdown, and it's already 4 weeks past the lockdown. I'm going to talk about the biggest recent concern, and it's not COVID-19. There is already enough material on it, and almost everybody is a guru on WhatsApp and Facebook. So, what I'm going to discuss today is the economy, which is another bigger concern. On the onset, I must confess that till lately I was not aware anything about economy, not even bothered. But in these last weeks, it somehow intrigued me, and I started my reading on it. What I read was this History of Nations, Thomas and Hudson book. Then there is this Lords of Finance by Liaquat Ahmed, which is an awesome book. Then there is Next What's In by Santosh Sharma, which is another awesome book. Then Managerial Economics by Varshney and Maheshwari, which is a very interesting book. Then there is a Chandra's Financial Sense. And finally, I can get the papers even right. This, A Complete Idiot's Guide to Finance Sense. In case you don't hold the security of a government job, you will be affected by a recession or a depression. Now, to distinguish between this recession and depression, a recession is when your neighbor loses his job, and a depression is when you lose your job. Now, having said that, depressions are basically of two types. One is deflation and another is inflation. So it's the same depression but the different money. Now, let's begin with deflation. In 1929, there was a crash in the stock market in America, basically because the stocks were being bought at a margin. When we say at a margin, it basically means like on a hot, sunny summer day, you take a glass of cool lemon juice, it quenches your thirst. Then you take a second glass of lemon juice, it also quenches your thirst, but not as the first one. And then you take the third glass. So the cost keeps adding, but the value keep depreciating. So the stock at that time in 1929 were being bought at a value, at a price where it didn't match the value, and so at a point, at a tipping point, it burst. Now, dollar by law at that time was to be backed by gold. So basically, currency was a derivative of gold, and the government could not print money. So what was happening is that population was increasing, the workforce was rapidly growing, and with all the effort and labor and man hours of work, the money remained the same as it could not be printed. So the value of money rose, but the capability of earning money became stagnant. You couldn't earn much money because there was the same amount of money in the market, and which steadily led to a deflation. In today's world, what we would probably face would not be deflation but inflation. Like what basically happened in 1971, IMF and World Bank required the other world banks to shift their money from derivative of gold to a debit currency, basically a derivative of debit. So which basically meant that it has not to be backed with gold. And if a government didn't agree with it, it would be thrown out of the exclusive club of IMF. So most of the government gradually gave in. What happened later in 2007? I am quoting 2007 because it is something we must remember we have been there. So the crash basically was caused by the US real estate being bought at a margin, which again means that the real estate in US was being bought at a price where it didn't serve the value, and the bubble started building, and at a certain point in 2007 it burst. Now at this point the dollar was no more backed by gold, it was derivative of debit, so it was just a piece of paper with ink, and government could just keep printing. Moreover, money has gone plastic, means there were credit cards. So what the difference did it made is that if you have a credit card, you are given a credit rating depending on your past transaction, and that could be 4 to 10 times of what you probably have a capability to earn. So you could spend like 4 times or 8 times of what is your capability, current capability to spend. So money would be coming more in market than it would actually be earned. And so after a certain point, when so many people are doing the same, where they're earning less and spending more, the money is basically losing its value and it is getting less worth to a point where it becomes worthless, which leads to inflation. And lately we see it's following a cycle of every 8 years or so, and which is also closing up. The gap is closing down. So this is the biggest concern of today's time. Now there is a principle which is called a Petro principle. Basically, Petro principle is a rule of vital few. It states that 80% of efforts come by 20% of the cause. Now, how is it related to economy? Is that 80% of the world money is secured by less than 20% of the world population. Now, that's not a news to you. I believe everyone is aware of it. But how is it so when there is a limited capability of a human effort, labor, then how come just 20% can hold 80% of world money when every person have a limited capability, a human capability to earn money, to labor? So what happened was, let's understand in this way that kids basically believe in magic, but as we grow up we are aware that there is no magic, it's just tricks. So big money in stocks is not magic, it's just tricks. As the world population grew, the governments had to think of ways to address the situation and provide the basic needs to everyone. And at this phase, the brokers, the middlemen came in between. And gradually they hijacked the whole system. So just as a fish cannot see the water, so many people yet cannot see this conspiracy. Now stock exchange and all this is another topic, a very interesting, intriguing topic to discuss about. We will take in a follow-up of this video. But for now, you can give your comments. You agree with it, you don't agree with it, you have something to add to it, something constructive. Just you can review it for the time being, and your feedback is welcome. And once we get the feedback, we may go ahead with next series of it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.